Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. And in this video, I'm going to discuss about transport layer. So I will give you an introduction of transport layer here. And before this, I have already covered about socket programming. And in socket programming also, I did cover a lot of transporting layer concepts like how to create TCP socket, how to create UDP sockets. And I have also discussed some of the difference between TCP and UDP in my previous videos. So this video is the continuation of the computer networking tutorial that I am creating. So I've already created a lot of videos and those videos are there in a playlist. So you can watch my other videos also on computer networking and those will be very helpful in understanding the concepts. So I'll paste the link of the playlist in the description and the comment. From there you can see it. Now, here I am just going to give you an introduction of transport layer, just introduction of that. And I will have more videos on transport layer, like 4 or 5 videos which are focused on transport layer itself. So this is the first of them. So now what after the application layer? So in my other videos that I have uploaded before, I have discussed about application layer. I have discussed about web and HTTP. I have discussed about email and SMTP. I have discussed about DNS. I have discussed about TLS protocol. And like I have also given a lot of examples of application layer using Wireshark, right? Now what after that, right? So if you remember, so this was a diagram I have used in the video of encapsulation and decapsulation. So where I was explaining you about encapsulation and decapsulation in TCP IP model. So you can see this diagram here. So of course we have, so on the source, so this is basically like if you are making, here you have source and here you have destination at the bottom. Now, if you are making some request from source to destination, how it happens, right? When you are making networking request. So of course, we have discussed about that application will create some data. It will generate some data. For example, HTTP protocol, there will be some data, some headers will be there or some get request plus headers. Okay. Now that is of course called message. Now that message, and we have discussed about socket programming, right? Now with the help, so basically the application will create a socket and it will pass that data to the socket. And it will also tell the socket that, okay, I want to send data to this server or this destination. It will also tell that on this destination, I want to deliver this data, this message to which port number. Then after that, the kernel will basically handle everything. Now the kernel will know that, okay, from the application that application wants to send this message to this destination and this port number. So now kernel will basically create the segment, it will create a datagram, it will create the frame. But yeah, for now, we will just focus on this segment because now we are going to focus on transport layer. In the later videos, we will also focus on the third and fourth layer also, but for this video, just we will focus on the segment side. In the segment, what will happen? Of course, this message will be there, plus headers of the transport layer will be there. Basically, that is which port number, source port and destination port number will be there in HT. Like some other fields also will be there, but source port and destination port are the important ones. And then basically this segment will flow from source to, it will pass through router switches and finally reach the destination. And you can see here, this in the transport layer of destination, you again have this segment, whatever was here, it has reached here. So now we'll discuss about this segment. Like what is there in this segment? What are the important headers in this segment? And in transport, like which are the important protocols and what are the use of those protocols? We'll discuss now. So first, we discuss what does transport layer does. It provides the logical communication between two processes running on different hosts. So of course, on the source, you will have one process. From that process, basically the application is the process here, basically. Source application, that is the process. Now, this source application wants to send a message to the destination application. So destination application is also a process. So from one process, we want to send a message to another process. But of course, both of these processes are running on different machines itself, right? So that in that transport layer can be helpful. It will provide logical communication between two processes running on different hosts. And we have seen in the previous videos with the help of sockets, this can be done. Basically sockets is the logical communication here. Processes can use transport layer to send messages between each other. That's the same as the first line. And you will no need to worry about the physical infrastructure that will carry the message. So since we have transport layer here, this application layer will just pass the message with, through the help of sockets, it will just pass the message to transport layer and the application now need not to worry about, okay, will that message be delivered or not? It should not worry about that. If it is using the TCP protocol, the transport layer will guarantee that that message will be delivered to the destination. So now let's look at the difference between transport layer and network layer. The transport layer only lives on the end systems or host. So only on the end system or host, that is client and server, on that only you will see the transport layer. Network layer is also present on routers, as network layer helps in routing the segments or packets. See here in this diagram. So if you see, transport layer is only on source and destination, like both of these are hosts here, right? Or these machines can also be called as end systems, right? Or hosts. Okay. So a transport layer is only on them. But if you see the network layer, of course, network layer is of course there on source and destination, but it is also there on routers. If you see, of course, we have only one router here, but you can see on the router, network layer is there, link layer, physical layer, all three are there. Because why the network layer is not router? Because network, if you remember the network layer, right? In network layer, the headers, that is HN in the datagram, it consists of source and destination IP address. And this router typically helps in forwarding the data from forwarding the data through multiple routers to the end destination till it reaches the end destination. And routers need the information what is there in that this HN, right? This HN, what is the information is there? The router needs that information. That's why there is a network layer in the router also. Now transport layer forwards the segment to the network layer and asks it to deliver it to the transport layer on a different host. That's what transport layer does, right? Transport layer will basically, so first application will pass, the application layer will pass the message to transport layer. Then transport layer will basically encapsulate the message with its own headers and will pass this segment to network layer. It will ask network layer that, okay, now forward whatever segment this is there from this, from here to destination machine. And on network layer, IP just forward the segment and does not provide any reliability. It makes best effort delivery service. So what actually happens like in the network layer, like IP protocol is there in the network layer, and what it will do is so I told you, right, transport layer has given the segment to the network layer to deliver it, right, to the destination, but the IP layer will make its like best effort, like it will try its best to deliver it. But network layer or the IP protocol that is there in network layer, it does not guarantee that that message will be delivered to a destination. It will try its best effort, but it's not guaranteed. But in transport layer, if you are using the protocol TCP, that can guarantee that if you are using TCP protocol of transport layer, if you are sending some message using TCP protocol, it will be delivered to the destination. It is guaranteed using TCP protocol, but that is not done using IP protocol. That's why typically, if you want reliable service, we use TCP. And then of course we use IP for delivering that data, but on the top of that, we also use TCP. Transport layer can provide encryption of messages. So of course, transport layer also makes the whatever message you are sending, it will encrypt it. So the communication will be secure between the client and the server. So there is one important difference that I want to highlight here, that is of reliability. So basically network layer in which IP protocol is there, it makes the best effort to deliver the segment from the source host to destination node. It will try its best, but it is not guaranteed by the IP protocol that is there in the network layer. But if you use TCP protocol of the transport layer, it will be guaranteed that that message will be delivered to the destination. Okay. Now there are two important protocols in transport layer. One is TCP and one is UDP. So whenever application layer is sending some data, it has to either use TCP or either it has to use UDP. TCP full form is Transmission Control Protocol. UDP is User Datagram Protocol. Now these are two important transport layer protocols. An application has choice to choose between TCP and UDP for transferring data, that we have seen a lot of times. Now both provides process to process data delivery by using IP protocol. So basically what does TCP or UDP does? Basically what it does is it helps in delivering data from one process to another process. Like from application, for example here, that is the TCP or UDP protocol, they will help in transferring the data from the source application to the destination application, or like both of them are processed here from one process to another process. And of course, if you see the important line here, by using IP protocol, basically, of course, these are the protocols in transport layer, and they will use the protocols of the layer below it. So basically they will use the protocol of network layer here, and IP protocol is the protocol in the network layer. So both will use the IP protocol to deliver messages from one process to another. And both provides integrity of data. That is like whatever data you are sending from here, the same data will reach there. So they provide that guarantee. The data will not get corrupted in between. That means they both do error detection. Now UDP is kind of simple, very simple. It's process to process data delivery plus data integrity. That's what UDP provides. UDP provides you only two things. It provides process to process data delivery plus data integrity. And it is not reliable protocol. So it does not guarantee that whatever data you are sending, it will reach the destination. It does not guarantee that. But TCP is more than UDP. So of course in TCP also there is process to process data delivery. But here this data delivery is reliable. That means like if you are using TCP to send some message, it is guaranteed by TCP that it will be delivered to the destination. And of course, data integrity is also there in TCP, and also TCP provides congestion control, which is very important. So congestion control is basically like, so sometimes what can happen is the overall network, right? It can become very congested, like the routers which are there in the routers which are there in the network, they can become very congested. In that case, what TCP can do is it can like, let's say if I'm sending some data from my system, right, in the public network, so it will slow down my rate, right? Depending on like how the congestion is there in the network, it will adjust my rate of like sending packets from my system, right? It will do that. So TCP also does that. So that's all for this video. And in the next video, what we are going to cover is transport layer multiplexing and demultiplexing. Like, sorry, the spelling of demultiplexing is wrong here. I'll correct that in the next video. But we will cover this in the next video, which is also very important related to transport layer. So that's all for this video. Thank you.